Okay, guys, it's the final day of weekly language review for this week. It is Thursday, so which word from Monday's list means time taking place after noon? So if it's after 12 o'clock noon, that means it's PM. And if you look back at the list that we had on Monday, and I think I talked about it as well, it is post meridian, meaning it is after the meridian, prime meridian. So that's post meridian. Plural noun, many of Australia's animal cannot be found anywhere else in the world. It's a plural noun. Animal just gets an S added to the end. You've been talking about animals since you could learn how to talk. Or if you were my children, you always talked about aminals instead of animals. Finish the table. This is all future tense, so it's in the future. He flies. Well, in the future, he will fly. My dad always teased me that if I ever was naughty when I was a little kid, I was going to fly into the next week. So maybe he will fly into the next week if he back talks his parents. Perfect future tense is he will, still meaning that it's going to happen in the future. But we then switch to past tense. He will have flown. So that's one of those interesting bits of grammar that we don't often talk about. But this is one of those situations where you might say, if he goes on the trip to Washington, D.C., he will have flown for the first time. So we're talking about it potentially happening in the future, but if it does happen, so now we're talking about the conclusion of it, it will mean this. So he will have flown over 3,000 miles after this next trip. Again, we're kind of combining the future, like when this occurs, this is what will have happened. Is this a simple, compound, or complex sentence? Well, I see a comma, so I can automatically get rid of simple. And now I have to think, do I have two sentences that are joined together by a comma and a conjunction? Or do I have a sentence that has a dependent clause which cannot stand alone and an independent clause? So the red center is one of Australia's natural formations. If I ended my sentence there, it would be fine. It would be its own sentence. And it is the largest rock in the world. If I took off the beginning, it is the largest rock in the world. That too is its own sentence. Since we have two sentences, two independent clauses, separated by a comma, right here, and a conjunction, the word and, we know that this is a compound sentence. Just like a compound word is the joining of two other words, compound sentence is just the joining of two sentences. Correct the sentence. There. Oh, there. This is not the right there. That is the possessive there. It is their dog. In this case, we're just talking about there, the thing. There are many types of venomous snakes in Australia. Ugh. That's a period because it's just a statement. But if someone were telling me that, whatever would come out of my mouth next would definitely deserve an exclamation point. No, thank you. No venomous snakes for me. Highlight the clues from yesterday's question that helped you determine the meaning of the word obscured. So obscured, remember we said kind of got in the way or blocked something. And in this case, we are talking about she almost crashed into a tree. Well, you're not going to crash into a tree, hopefully, if you can see things clearly. So in this case, we know that it means that she, obviously, the fog got in the way of her vision. And then last but not least, write a sentence using the word, or using a word with the prefix ill. Obviously, you can write whatever sentence works for you as long as you use the word correctly. So perhaps I will use the word illogical. And no, I'll use the word illness. She was experiencing an unexplained illness. And now, because I am a teacher and this is what I do, I'm going to write an additional sentence or a piece to this sentence that explains what illness is. She was experiencing an unexplained illness. Maybe this will be a comma instead, and I'll say complete with a fever, chills, and muscle aches. All right, guys. So that's the last one for this week. Next week, I know we only have 4 days in the week because we don't have Monday, but we will still have language review and math minute. Unfortunately, on one of the days, we'll just have to double up. But you will still be expected to complete the same number of math minutes and the same number of weekly language reviews. Otherwise, we won't get through all the material in the year. So enjoy your 3-day weekend. Don't even think about it. And school-wise, I mean, just relax and rest. Bye.